about three-star hotel. Meanwhile, when we look at three-star hotel, that's got standards. All the hotels have got standards. For us to meet three-stars hotel, what standard are there? So that now, that's where we saw that there are certain things that we should put in place for us to also meet the three-star hotel that we want to have.
Such as the CCTV, which was already in the contract?
The chair, I could say that what I can say was not already in the contract. That BOQ, it includes also variation. The BOQ that was being read, it includes variation. Because after
the 75,000.
After doing the variation, now to
let's move slowly. The BOQ, the 75 million BOQ included the variation?
No, it never included variation.
Which BOQ?
Because we are now combining. I was answering that one, the first one.
No, I'm just speaking from what you're saying, that yes, the BOQ included the variation. Which BOQ are you referring to?
The 94. Normally, when you do the variation, you compound everything, now it becomes one contract. As it reads, the spots where the itemize where variation is getting. If maybe the project has got two variations, you can indicate this is variation number 1, variation number 2 within the BOQ. Because when you've done revision, now you have to revise now the whole contract.
That's why I wanted CS. You should have taken your time. I wanted the legal mind. When the clause of the contract, one of the clauses or a clause of the contract, as questioned by Dr. Manza, indicating that if there will be any variations, the contractor will bear the cost. Now you are saying that you are the ones who caused the variations. That's why I wanted you to respond to what I was asking, because I want to make a conclusion. This project, there's a lot of questions and answers. It started in 2020. It's a cash cow. You just go around, say, no, we have seen a hotel, the lights are lighting on their on their own. We need to go and do a variation. We don't want switches. Then you go and add to it. You see anything that excites you, you go back and do this. And yet the design was approved by yourselves. And the design was for the 3-star hotel. The design, you are satisfied. And the project should have a time frame, reasonable time frame. From 2020, we are in 2025. Monies are being spent on these public resources. So we wanted the legal mind, so that you just conclude, the legal mind, to give us his opinion on the clause that was there.
Chair, it might be, it's already explained on the clause. What it is
CS, hold on.
Okay.
This is a serious committee. I'm asking the legal officer to explain. If he's going to explain the same, don't tell us that it's already explained.
Okay.
Legal officer.
Chair, at the time of the contract, I did not take sight of the contract nor the provisions in the contract. So if I was to give my opinion, I think I would be. I'm not in the right place to give an opinion.
Thank you. Honorable members, on this project and the issue of books, unless you have another question, the issue of furniture to the hotel and other queries related to this hotel, we can put them on ice. We go to the other areas. Do we have questions, other questions, as we wind up? Dr. Mwanza. Not on the project.
Just two quick ones. Appendix 4, the first site meeting, minutes of site meeting number 1.
Pull your mic closer.
Minutes of site meeting number 1 for the same project. The attendees were from Kalumbira Council, Director of Works, Chairperson, Mtonga Mafita. Then the PLGO was there, PIO was there, Head Procurement, Senior Procurement, Provincial Administration Director for Trans Engineering, and then the Senior Surveyor, Trans Engineering. Then there's another organization, which is, the name is Review Dube, and his position is supervisor, and he comes from a non-organization, which is called GCON Civils Limited. Are we there on the Appendix 4? Appendix 4, the first site meeting. Appendix 4, site meeting. There's supervisor GCON Civils Limited. The other organizations were familiar to this, their role in this organization, in this project. Kalumbira Council, local government, Department of Public Infrastructure, Provincial Administration, then the Trans Engineering. They are all parties to this project. But there's another company called GCON Civils Limited, and his position is supervisor. So what is the role of this person, or this company, in the implementation of this project? And last one is, before executing this project, did you secure the funds? The project, you had the budget. I've checked. What was the budget actually that you had budgeted for this project? So did you secure the funds? Because you can understand the contractor's behavior sometimes, that he pushes an IPC. The client never pays for so many months. For example, the advance payment. He, according to the contract, is supposed to be paid 25% of the contract price. He pushed that advance payment certificate, including all the necessary sureties. Council only paid him 2.5 million out of 12 million. And the balance was
9 point something
which
million.
was even carried forward to the following year. So in terms of financial resources pertaining to this project, did you have the funds ring-fenced for this particular project? Because all these project implementation, we're looking at the client, the contractor, and so on. The contractor is right sometimes, because he is not paid 1 year for advance payment. So did you secure the funds? And who actually provided the budget line? Who provided the budget line to the client? For you, because for any project, I need to have a budget. So I will secure the funds to meet the target, right? So who provided the budget for this particular project?
Doc, we have had a lot of questions on this one, and we're not getting any proper responses. I will allow the Vice Chair to make his last comments or questions on the same or any other area. Then we shall conclude on this one.
Chair, I think I'm moving to another question on 37. that is Appendix 8, irregular use of accountable interest to the amount of 520,
Page 37.
page 37. The public management regulations state that accountable interest can only be used for items whose cost value cannot be ascertained on the market. Kalumbila Town Council went ahead to buy refreshments for their offices to the tune of 520,000. And I believe these refreshments, the costs are very well known because this is recurrent expenditure. In contravention to the regulations, I would want to find out from the town clerk, why were we using interest to buy things whose costs are very well known and could be bought from so many places on the market? Instead of buying in bulk, we went ahead to buy using interest. Why didn't we follow the public finance management regulations? I thank you, Chair.
Very straightforward. You can be assisted by DF and others.
Thank you, Chair. I think let me call the DF to clarify on that one.
Your mics, yes?
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, Chair. Chair, what usually happened was there are those small items that we are buying as the office, like office stationery, refreshment, and some other requirements. We are using this because of the vicinity where we are, whereby we can't buy in bulk as such because of the proximity where we are.
Answer the question from the Vice Chair. The law is very clear. You cannot use an interest to buy on goods that whose value can be ascertained on the market. And that's why the auditors raised this. You are the financial advisor to the council. Can you respond to the question from the Vice Chair?
Chair, it is regrettable that we went this way. However, we have noted that this thing won't repeat itself again.
You are now trained to come and regret and apologize. The other one is irregular withdrawal of cash amounting to 395,230 kwacha. Same as this one. Contrary to the regulation, you went ahead and withdrew cash. Now, before you respond, I want to see the internal auditor. Do we have the internal auditor here? Take possession. You start from what the Vice Chairperson has asked, Honorable Shakafuswa. What was your role on this transaction when you saw that the council was using interest instead of buying from the supplier?
Thank you, Chair. We discussed as management that we need to be buying in bulk for us to reduce on buying on interest, because yes, according to the financial regulation, it clearly states. So,
You have the floor.
okay.
I'm chairing.
Oh, okay. So we discussed, and as of now, going forward, that's what we're doing. We're buying in bulk, even for meetings that we haven't even commenced for. But we just buy in bulk just in case there's like an emergency of any meeting, then we convene from there.
Vice Chair.
Auditor, you are not part of management. So when you use the word we discussed as management, for me, I'm afraid that I'll take it that you are trying to mislead us. Just wait. The chair asked you what was your role. Did you advise the council secretary that the regulations do not permit for us to be buying these things like this in contravention of the regulations? I think that is the question. You are not part of management and you should answer questions put to you. You play a very different role that we understand as a committee.
Thank you.
Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. Since I came, as I just sit and in management. So we had brought it up and I brought it to the attention of the PO, and we had discussed about it, and the way forward was done, and that's how we decided to be buying in bulk.
This is 500,000. This is a lot of money. Even 10,000. The regulations state clearly, do not use interest on such items, and the items for interest are very well stipulated. But contrary to the regulations, you as a gatekeeper, as an auditor, you allow such payments to go on. What was your role as an auditor on this when it came to your desk? What did you do? You waited for management meeting?
No, Chair. Can I just call upon my assistant internal auditor as of that time?
Assistant internal auditor, come through. Before assistant auditor, you come through, I'll ask the vice chair.
Chair, I see these to be young professionals who maybe not seasoned. So instead of a further question, I just wanted to advise them that they shouldn't wait for the external auditors for matters such as this. You report to two streams. That is the audit committee and the town clerk.
Gatekeepers, goalkeepers. What has happened to local government? Officer, you are there. You are the supervisor of these councils. Let us restore order. This committee is merely waiting for the auditors to say this is contrary to the regulations. Young professionals, what models are you going to be are you becoming? So on this issue, these are serious issues bordering on finances. If you look at the contract of the even other queries, they are pointing where there is money. Receipt books, it's the same. And we want to sample those receipts and check on the register whether the serial numbers correlate. We should do that. We are going to go deeper for Kalumbira because we want the nation to know. My prayer is that whoever was involved or is involved should stand to wait for the consequences. This committee will not disappoint this nation. Order shall prevail. Not only for Kalumbira, all the local authorities. When they come here, we shall help our government, our Ministry of Law Government. So, CS, we shall make a final conclusion. We are contemplating coming to your place as a committee. Those technical things you are talking about, the size, inflating the contract, we shall come, we shall seek authority from Madam Speaker so that we set base there. We shall come with all the departments, even other departments, you know them, to come and stand with us to see what happened on this one. From 2020, a hotel with a lot of money pumped into it, it can't be finished because it's a cash cow. You don't operate like that. You move around, someone says, no, in this hotel, the chairs are better. Let's do a variation. Bring the same contractor, do a variation after expiry of the contract. Those issues will not be allowed. The nation is watching. The nation is interested. The people of Kalumbira are watching. We are going to help to bring order. All things we shall follow them so that we set examples. That said, I would like to withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you. Before I do that, immunity